So if you've ever had that feeling, you look up from your screen after a long day and you just feel completely disconnected. Like you've been working furiously, but you're also somehow further away from yourself than when you started.
Yes, that quiet nagging question, right? What am I actually doing with my life?
That's it. And that feeling is what we're really digging into today.
It's what the sources call the silent crisis of meaning in labor, or CML. And it's silent for a reason. It's not some big, loud event.
Right, it's not like getting laid off.
Exactly. It's a slow erosion. You feel like a ghost performing tasks, ticking boxes, sending emails, but you're just floating away from who you want to be.
And our mission for this deep dive is to really cut through that noise. We're going to unpack why this is happening to a whole generation and then look at some ancient Stoic wisdom to see how to rebuild that meaning.
And it's such a modern paradox, isn't it?
It really is.
We have more freedom, more opportunity, more technology than ever before. You can literally change your career with a few clicks.
And yet, we feel less purpose.
Far less. The sources all point to one culprit: the sheer velocity of change.
A speed. That's the real killer.
It is. The world is just moving too fast for the human mind to really handle. Think about it. In just one decade, entire careers, all your expertise, the very idea of success, it all transforms.
So that feeling of being lost, it's not a personal failure.
Not at all. You feel lost because the world is moving too quickly for you to plant any stable roots. Your mind is just constantly overwhelmed, and that's what feeds this crisis.
Okay, so let's break that down. Where does this crisis first take hold? You're saying it's in the structure of the work itself.
Which brings us to our first segment, why modern work feels so abstract.
So abstract.
If you look back, historically, work was concrete. It was tangible.
Yeah, you were touching the soil, weaving cloth, building a wall.
Precisely. The result was visible. Life gave you immediate physical feedback on what you did. You could look at it and say, I made that. You could meet yourself in your own work.
But today, for most of us, it's just screens, letters, numbers, files. It's totally ephemeral.
And that abstraction is the critical problem. Your efforts just disappear. You spend 3 hours on a report.
And it's forgotten by the next meeting.
Or you spend a year mastering a skill, and then some new AI comes along and replaces 80% of that expertise.
So your effort doesn't create anything that lasts.
Right. There's no enduring physical reward. So the pain isn't that the work is hard. It's that you don't meet yourself in the outcome.
You don't see yourself reflected in what you've made.
Exactly. You look at that spreadsheet or that email chain and you don't see your soul in it. That's the ghost feeling. That's the drifting, because your daily actions don't anchor you to anything solid.
And that feeling of being unanchored, it must make us so vulnerable to looking for meaning in all the wrong places.
It does. Which brings us to segment 2, the 3 huge psychological traps that feed this crisis. And these traps are so insidious because they capitalize on that feeling of instability. They trick you into thinking the solution is somewhere out there.
When really it's internal.
It's all internal.
Let's start with the first one, because I think this is the piece of advice that has wrecked so many people. The curse of finding your passion.
It is a profound curse. Society tells you that your work must be this thrilling, exciting, burning fire of happiness all the time.
And if it's not?
Then you assume you're broken. Or you're on the wrong path, and you have to quit and start the search all over again for the next big emotional high.
And the sources say this leads to job hopping, right? We're just constantly jumping from one thing to the next.
Yes, jumping jobs, fields, goals, but really you're jumping away from yourself. You never stay long enough to engage with the reality of the work. You're chasing this idea of absolute rightness.
Which is impossible.
It's totally unsustainable. The second the work gets boring or difficult, you think, oh, this isn't my passion, and you're gone.
Okay, so while we're chasing that high, we become vulnerable to the second trap. Addiction to external recognition.
This is the soft drug of the modern worker. Because the work is so abstract, we crave validation just to prove we're alive.
That little great job message in Slack.
That's our lifeblood. A compliment, a nod of approval, but then your internal compass it breaks.
How so?
You start choosing tasks that you know will get you praise, and you abandon the essential, quiet, foundational work that no one notices. You start living for the external views.
And the sources had a really powerful line here. The death of meaning happens when you do the right thing for the wrong reason.
That's the core of it. You're doing it for others, not for yourself.
All right.
And no amount of praise can fill the void that self-betrayal creates.
Wow. Okay, and that leads to the third trap, which feels so unique to our time, the comparison killer.
Oh, it's just torment. And it's the scale of it that's so toxic. In the past, you compared yourself to, what, 10 or 20 people in your town?
Your neighbors, your family. Yeah.
Today, you're comparing your raw, messy, exhausted reality to a million perfectly curated success stories online.
I mean, I'm so guilty of this. You scroll through LinkedIn and just instantly feel like you're failing.
We all are. And you know those profiles are just highlight reels, but it doesn't matter. It convinces you that you're fundamentally flawed or behind, when really you're just being human.
It makes you feel bad for being real.
Exactly. Comparison destroys meaning by making your authentic path feel worthless.
Okay, so we've got this abstract work environment and these three massive psychological traps. It's a perfect storm. So how do we pivot?
This is where we turn to the Stoics. The Stoic pivot is about changing the direction of the hunt completely.
Okay.
They argue that meaning isn't derived from the work from the outside. It comes from the person doing the work, from the inside.
So you don't have to find the perfect job.
You have to become the right person.
I can hear the pushback already, though.
Yeah.
Isn't that just a way of telling people to suck it up in a bad job?
It's a fair question, but it's not about that. The Stoics reject the modern idea that meaning comes from positive emotions, like excitement.
Because emotions are unstable.
They're totally unstable. For them, meaning is built through character. Through virtues like discipline, integrity, responsibility, tranquility. Those are the stable pillars you carry with you, no matter what your job is.
We always hear the Marcus Aurelius quote, "People are not hurt by things, but by the view they take of them."
Right, but the sources add a crucial modern layer to that.
Which is?
In our world, we're hurt because we don't have time to look. We're so frantic, just reacting to notifications and deadlines, that we don't even have 10 minutes to stop and ask, what view am I taking of this? We're purely reactive.
So the core question has to shift. It's not, does this job make me happy?
No, it's, what kind of person does this work make me? That is the only question that matters.
I mean, that's a huge realization.
Think about the street sweeper example. Someone doing a low-status job, but with care, with diligence, with self-respect. They're building integrity every single day. Their life is deeply meaningful.
While someone with a fancy title who operates with chaos and deceit is just eroding their own soul.
Precisely. The job doesn't give you quality. The way you do the job creates the quality. You have to watch the person you're becoming.
We also have to let go of this pressure for massive, world-changing impact.
Oh, absolutely. Reject the ego's demand for greatness. Meaning comes from doing small things usefully.
Like what?
A clearly written email that saves someone 5 minutes, a calm explanation in a chaotic meeting, a report that actually helps your team focus. These things are almost never noticed by the boss.
But they build something inside you.
They build internal strength.
Yeah.
And that is a source of meaning that no one can ever take away from you.
And this ties directly into the idea of progress over success.
Yes. Success is external. It's fleeting. It depends on luck. Progress. Progress is internal. It endures.
So meaning is found in just being 2% better today.
Or concentrating for 5 minutes longer. Or facing a tough conversation just a little more calmly. When you focus on progress, you're building character.
Which brings us to volition. The idea that choosing to do something changes its meaning.
This is the critical difference. 2 people cleaning a room. One does it out of obligation because they're forced to and they hate it. It's meaningless.
And the other.
The other person chooses to do it because they align a clean space with their value of order and dignity. They might not like the task, but they find meaning in it because it was their choice. That choice turns a burden into a practice.
This is all so powerful conceptually, but how do we make it real? For someone listening right now, feeling that drift, what are the first concrete steps?
Let's get practical. The sources give us 5 clear rules. And the first one is just to win the morning battle.
I like that. Because the mornings are when that dread really hits, right?
It's when the chaos starts. So don't try to make the whole day meaningful. Just narrow your focus. Pick one small thing to do with absolute presence and quality.
Like making your bed perfectly.
Or writing one important email without any distractions. That small victory gives you a sense of control before the chaos can take over.
Okay, so we get that small win. What about tackling the big things that are draining us? The 20% reduction rule.
Yeah, this is key. Most of us try to change everything at once, fail in 3 days, and feel even worse.
Right.
Instead, identify the biggest toxin in your work life. Maybe it's pointless meetings or constantly checking social media, and just aim to reduce it by 20%. Don't try to eliminate it.
So if I'm in 10 hours of bad meetings a week, I just try to get out of 2 of them.
Exactly. It's a small shift, but it creates psychological breathing room. It proves to you that change is possible, and you can use that reclaimed energy for something meaningful.
And what about rebuilding self-respect? You talked about how it gets eroded.
You rebuild it by keeping small promises. Self-respect is lost when you procrastinate, when you quit early.
When you do a sloppy job.
Exactly. So rebuild it with tiny commitments. Go to bed a little earlier. Finish one small task you've been putting off. Don't check your phone for the first 15 minutes of the day. Every time you keep one of those promises, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted.
Self-trust is the foundation.
It's the bedrock of meaning.
And we also have to find our inner voice again, right? The noise of the world is so loud.
We connect with everything and everyone except ourselves. So just 10 minutes at the end of the day for inner dialogue, journaling.
What do you write?
Ask yourself simple questions. What virtue did I practice today? What decision made me feel strong? Writing it down reconnects you with yourself. It's how you discover who you are without anyone else telling you.
And finally, the ultimate defense, the 3% separation rule. How do we stop our job from becoming our entire identity?
This is essential for survival. If 100% of your soul is in your job, then every failure, every piece of criticism feels like an existential attack.
So you have to carve out a piece for yourself.
At least 3% of your day. For an 8-hour day, that's barely 14 minutes.
Just 14 minutes.
14 minutes of something purely human, not productive. A silent walk, a cup of tea with no phone, reading a real book. That small act rescues your soul. It reminds you that your value is inherent, not based on your output. And a healthy soul does better work anyway.
So if we actually do all this, if we commit to this stoic practice, what does the future look like? It's not some sudden happy breakthrough, is it?
Not at all. Change is slow. The sources say you need about 30 days to feel less adrift, 6 months to feel calmer, deeper, and a year to become almost a new person.
All because you changed your internal architecture.
That's it. And the look of true meaning, it's not glamorous, it's not ecstatic.
So what is it?
It's waking up without fear, not necessarily excited, but without that feeling of dread. It's finishing one small, tedious task with integrity and feeling. Not happy, just right.
It's being tired at the end of the day, but not self-critical.
Yes, tired but not ashamed. Meaning isn't a big emotion. It's a life built on structure, on roots and depth.
That brings us to our final thought. Something for everyone to carry with them.
The goal isn't to demand that the world stop being dark or chaotic. It won't.
You can't change that.
You can't. But you can learn how to walk through that darkness without losing yourself. And that internal stability. That's what the Stoics called tranquility. And in the face of this modern crisis, tranquility, not happiness, is true freedom.